And I'm telling you, all this man had to do was just sit back on his ass and focus on affordability. Just couldn't do it, though.
I'll take the libertarians, the soccer moms. Like,
right.
Who cares at this point? We need them badly.
Right, Emily, but this is like with the issue with like the pro-lifers.
We call that
like during the election, the pro-lifers,
right.
What did they want? They wanted to ruin Trump's chances because they wanted Trump to promise the pro-lifers that he was going to have a total ban on abortion. And when we said that's not going to happen because the overturn of Roe v. Wade, it goes back to the states, and that's what you guys wanted, and Trump made it happen, they wanted to boycott the elections. Lighter Rose, it was this whole thing.
I disagree with that.
What I mean is,
yeah, I disagree with that too, because like those were like the radical pro-lifers, and most of the pro-lifers were just happy that they were able to get it returned back to the states instead of it just being a blanket statement across the land. So no, a lot of pro-lifers was actually okay with that. I'm a pro-lifer. Like, trust me, if I had it my way, I would ban abortion outright. But I'm a reasonable pro-lifer. So I'm just like, I mean, at least give them like a month or two, like what, 4 to 6 weeks, a month and a half. I think that's a reasonable time to get their ish together, figure something out. Past that, I mean, welcome to parenthood.
It's like if you're a libertarian, you're not going to get everything that you want from Trump because that's not even your party. You don't even align with him, period.
This is a good segue to our next segment, which is about loyalty.
Yeah. Why is Trump with Lindsey Graham now and not with Thomas Massie? And I think
why.
For people like
any
us,
of you say it?
Let me guess. Yeah. Israel.
Yes.
Yep. It's about Trump being project focused.
And I ain't gonna lie though, I think somebody asked me in the chat, and shout out to the guys engaging in the chat, but somebody asked me in the chat what pretty much made me leave. Yeah, it was the Epstein files, and of course, it was them not really focusing on affordability as much. I really think they was like losing the debate on that. I don't know why they were. But yeah, it was the Epstein files, affordability, and the last straw was the Iran war for me, because I seen us walking into it, and I was warning everybody, like, if we get into this war, guys, all this progress will be walked back. Everybody thought I was tripping. People said I was underestimating our military when I was just keeping it real with everybody. I was like, no, you got to understand, if we get into this war and Iran commits to everything they say, I mean, dog, inflation will go up. Like, gas prices will go up. Everything this man worked on, like, all last year is going to be diminished within a couple of months. And I was exactly right. Word for word, bar for bar. And I'm sick about it. It's like, damn. And that's what really I just had to turn away, because I'm presenting this to MAGA and now I'm being called an American. I'm being called a Democrat. I'm just like, so this is a blind following type of thing. Y'all just wanted me to go along and defend the BS and defend the indefensible. It's like, really now? Really? Okay, so now we just turned into Biden supporters, basically. Now MAGA is the new leftist. Congratulations. You played yourselves.
Right now, he has very specific things he's trying to accomplish.
Can you add that to the
he's going after
project?
the people?
That's such a big deal.
You're willing to let the country die because it's a fantasy to save the country. So you're not a revolutionary.
I don't think that's
you're just a
saving the
political
country.
cuck,
I think
is
that's
what you are.
your fantasy. That's the Owen Shroyer fantasy.
Did you guys know that you can support?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That girl's a complete. Yeah, she's a bit of a bitch. But we need women like her out there to be real, to keep it real with us, because she's keeping it real. She's basically saying, look, bro, we never considered you guys part of the coalition. We're just using you for your vote to get our way, and now we're just gonna toss y'all asses to the side. Ha ha ha. And I'm just like, well, damn. I mean, at least she's honest. At least she's honest, guys. Because I'm gonna be real with you, I don't think nobody would have ever gave it to us that clear and that cut. So shout out to her for that, because I'll be so honest with you. I kind of knew what it was after the Iran war and how everybody was just getting tossed to the side for any type of disagreement. And no MAGA influencer was willing to say it until today.
If you're a libertarian, you're not going to get everything that you want from Trump because that's not even your party. You don't even align with him, period.
This is a good segue to our next segment, which is about loyalty.
Just want to know new wars.
It's often been repeated that Trump is loyal to a fault, those who are loyal to him. But this last year, we've seen President Trump cut ties with some of his biggest allies who fought to get him elected. And at the same time, President Trump has thrown his support behind many who the base considers rhinos, and even some who have.
Guys, make sure to double tap that screen, like the video, guys. And any questions, comments, jokes, or disagreements, feel free to super chat it in. I'll be happy to engage with it and read it out loud. Or you can go ahead and send it in a Venmo or PayPal, guys. Appreciate the support. Let's keep it going. And like I said, make sure to double tap that screen or smash that like button.
Flat out rebuked him. Take a look.
It's easy. Tucker is a low IQ person, always easy to beat. and highly overrated. So are Megyn Kelly, Candace, really dumb and mentally ill, and bankrupt Alex Jones, who is completely fried. There are others also. Then we have some that are very good. True MAGA all the way and smart. I should do a list of good, bad, and somewhere in the middle. Wouldn't that be fascinating?
Well, I want to talk to the Trump supporters for a minute. I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you like this guy. He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot.
Yeah, and all that changed as soon as you start shilling for Israel, right, Lindsay? As soon as he gave y'all ass the Golan Heights, as soon as he gave him the Golan Heights, Lindsay was like, you know what? I actually like Donald Trump. He's actually a really good guy. As soon as he got us out the JCPOA, you know what? I love Donald Trump. You know what? I like to ride his dick sometime. Like, yeah, it's crazy how things switch up, huh?
He doesn't represent my party.
Senator Lindsey Graham is doing a fantastic job. He is running against a lunatic named Mark Lynch, who supports perhaps the worst congressman in the history of our country, Thomas Massie of the great Commonwealth of Kentucky. I don't have to go into great detail, but needless to say, Mark Lynch would be a disaster for the Republican Party, and Lindsey Graham just gets the job done. Vote for Lindsey all the way. MAGA.
I'm gonna be so real with you, dog. We can't even blame Trump or anybody. Like, we got to blame ourselves for that one. How the hell do we vote back in Lindsey Graham? Like, where is he? North Carolina, right? People like, I need to go out there in North Carolina, like in Lindsey's district or wherever the hell group of people vote for this man. And I need to talk to him. Why do you keep voting for him? He's not America first. He literally sits there and says it in y'all goddamn face, and y'all still vote for this man? I'm sorry, but what type of Kool-Aid are y'all drinking out here in North Carolina? I need to know.
President Donald J. Trump.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. So what do you make of it?
He listed all the people.
Okay, South Carolina. Okay. Really? I thought all right. Well, whatever. He's in one of the Carolinas, and I just need to know who the hell keeps voting for Lindsey Graham after everything he says. I'm sorry, but what is he doing out there? Maybe I'm missing something.
Well, are the reason I became MAGA. Like literally, he listed all my favorite people. I mean, Alex Jones was the one I started listening to when I lost my job, didn't want to get vaccinated. I had no friends. I lost my boyfriend, was completely alone during COVID. And he's all I listened to was like Alex Jones, InfoWars. I've always loved Megyn Kelly. I think she is the most successful female in the space. I respect her even when I disagree sometimes on things. I don't understand people attacking her, but it's like Thomas Massie, like, yes. And then Lindsey Graham, no, it's just all these people.
I think the funniest part about it is how they're actually thinking they're hurting they actually think they're hurting Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson's, Megyn Kelly, when they're only making them more popular. Like, that's all MAGA has done, Loki. It's made them more popular and made them more viable, not only to the left, but now I'm gonna be real with you, people that aren't even political whatsoever. Like, people are falling into politics because of the stance of Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Like, people who don't even know shit about politics know those names. They don't know who Mark Levin is. They don't really even know who Lindsey Graham is, and that's an effing politician. So, like, you guys got to understand, you're literally and this is crazy, but MAGA is literally going against the people who literally put Trump in office. Like, who has a bigger crowd? Tell me, who have a bigger crowd or bigger audience than Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly? Like, please tell me, give me a trio that's ultra pro MAGA, that's ultra pro Trump, that has a bigger audience than them. Like, okay, then. So now that we understand that that's the biggest audience that Trump had, and he just kicked them off to the side for Laura Loomer, Mark Levin, who have literally no audience compared to them. Well, yeah, no audience compared to Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Like, do you see what's going on now? Like, Trump pushed out the popular opinion for the unpopular opinion of Laura Loomer and Mark Levin. Like, do you see now what? And that's also one of the reasons why I started leaving, because I started seeing how he's pushing Marjorie Taylor Greene out, how he's pushing Thomas Massie out, and how he's literally bringing in Lindsey Graham to Laura Loomer and Mark Levin. And I'm just like, yo, these guys are not America first. I do not want these guys representing MAGA. And if this is what represents MAGA, I gotta leave. Y'all got it at this point. And that's who y'all got. Do y'all understand that's y'all mascots now? Like, y'all traded, bro. Who trades Candace Owens for Laura Loomer, bro? Like, are you effing serious? Candace Owens for Laura Loomer? Who makes that trade and is okay with it? Who trades Tucker Carlson for Mark Levin of all people? Like, are you serious? Come on now. Like, that's the type of trades we're making out here. And people, and you wonder why people looking at y'all crazy.
attacking were like his biggest supporters, had the biggest platforms, and also are like really intelligent, fantastic people for the party, and people like those people. So to attack all of them is a little crazy.
You know, I don't like the personality stuff in politics. I think usually it goes out with the wash. So I look at it and I say, what is a principled conservative politician? Thomas Massie is probably the standard for a principled conservative politician. If you look at his voting record, Lindsey Graham is the exact opposite. So if you want to claim that Trump is
Lindsey Graham voted for mass immigration. What are you talking about? Lindsey Graham is like a flip-flopper. Bro, he was never Trump. Lindsey Graham did not want none of the MAGA agendas to be pushed through. But all of a sudden, everybody's on Lindsey Graham's ass, though. Everybody's over here thinking that he's pro-MAGA all of a sudden. Like, that is so crazy. The people who are actually never Trumpers, who's actually speaking out against Trump, trying to go against Trump agenda, these are the guys that are now backing Trump. These are the guys that you guys are now sidelining with. The same guys that were calling Trump a Nazi, Hitler, the same. And then Lindsey Graham, I'm sorry, but if you just go over this man's record in Congress, oh my goodness, bro. I'm sorry, but there's been times that Lindsey Graham sounded like an effing liberal. And he doesn't really care. Whatever side aligns with Israel the most, he's going to be on that side. Like, trust me, if it's a whole bunch of socialists aligning with Israel, Lindsey Graham's going to be a socialist the next fucking day.
conservative, then supporting Lindsey Graham and not Thomas Massie just doesn't make any sense.
You know, this picks up perfectly, if I may, from what Linda was saying before the break, because she talked about the MAGA, and she was saying, you know, MAGA doesn't belong to you guys. But I think that is the definition of MAGA. It's not the Republicans. The Republicans and MAGA are not aligned. And I think this is where we need to clarify what is MAGA. The GOP is Lindsey Graham, and you heard him. That's not my party. And he's exactly right. The GOP has never been.
Well, that's what I'm saying. MAGA's a coalition. You can't really say MAGA just this conservative think tank because, I mean, let's be honest. Conservatives had a chance to take care of immigration, and they were low-key one of the ones that proliferated it. So we can't sit there and say that we agree outright with Republicans, especially the establishment Republicans. MAGA's stance was no new wars. On the left and the right, they were trying to pop off their own war. I mean, the left wanted it with Russia, and we in the right wanted it with Iran. With MAGA, we wanted no new wars because we didn't see how wars ever gave us really anything that, well, I would say they gave us any type of prosperity. If anything, it hurt us. And it's the reason why we can never return back to the pricing that our parents enjoyed.
Wait,
then why is Trump pushing for him?
Yeah, because, and this is an important point, because Trump has to use coalitions in order to get things done.
So
Lindsey Graham is a key vote.
Lindsey Graham votes with the Trump agenda. Thomas Massie does not.
He makes concessions for Lindsey Graham, but Thomas Massie.
Actually, Thomas Massie does vote with Trump 90% of the time. And usually the time that he doesn't vote with Trump is when they fill the bill with pork. And you guys know what pork is, right? Remember the pork in the big, beautiful bill, the no AI regulations for 10 years? Did you agree with that? Did you want that? No, of course you didn't. So Thomas Massie held up the bill and said, no, we're not passing it until that gets out of there. And I think that's what you'd want out of, your senator. I think that's what you'd want out of somebody that's MAGA. Somebody literally standing up for our values, even if it means going against the crowd. And that's exactly what Matt Massie did. And it kind of sounds like we just don't care about the free thinkers no more. We want the cult members, apparently. That's what MAGA wants. You guys want the blind followers. You guys don't want people who actually stand up for the American people. And that's why I said MAGA's like, it's cooked. It's dead now. Like I said, it was a coalition of different political views that I honestly want to look out for what's best for the American people. But now it's just turned into, well, I'm gonna be real with you, the blind faith of Trump.
No, because Thomas Massie doesn't.
What concessions has he done with Lindsey Graham? Lindsey Graham has voted with Trump for the MAGA agenda every single time. That's also an edited video. Let's be honest. J.D. Vance was anti-Trump too, and now he's the vice president of the United States of America. But Lindsey Graham hasn't opposed Trump since 2016. Megyn Kelly
left Fox News because she hated Trump.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson's text messages said, "I hate Trump."
Literally, January.
I can't wait that we don't have to listen to him anymore. Candace Owens has just gotten in.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. But here's the thing, though. Tucker Carlson actually campaigned for Donald Trump. Like, actually put him on this platform, and he has a bigger audience than Lindsey Graham does. He has a bigger audience than Mark Levin does. And here's the thing. I didn't really see, Lindsey Graham really throwing his hat too much behind Donald Trump during the campaign. Like, I see him at a rally, but he wasn't really, out there in the field like Tucker was. I mean, and like I said, he didn't even have a large audience to really promote Trump too. And let's be real, a lot of people turned to Trump. It wasn't because of Lindsey Graham. I'll tell you that right now. If Lindsey Graham was mascotting for Trump, Trump would have lost the election. But it was because of people like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Megyn Kelly. Those people, that's why Trump won. Hodge twins, that's why Trump won. It's those people why Trump got the victory. It's not the people that he's around now. If he was running with those people in the beginning, he'd have lost. Period, point blank, because let's be real, it's just been more of the same and we'd have seen it coming. This time, yeah, we'd have seen it coming.
Say I have nothing good to say about her. So if we're talking about, you talk about a principled conservative, I can show you a million clips of Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly changing on literally every single one of their positions.
But they're not politicians.
Do the same with Trump.
But they're personalities, not politicians.
A principled person. So
no, not every single one of their positions. I mean, that's asinine. Like, just because, and that's how wild they get. They're acting like just because you go against Trump, it's like, oh, well, now they're a socialist, now they're Islamists, now they're this, that, and the third. It's like, no, that's not it at all. They just disagree with Trump over the Epstein files and a war with Iran. It's not like they stopped being a conservative. It's not like they stopped being a Republican. I mean, what is wrong with you guys? That's what I'm saying. You guys can't take criticism without sitting there and turning the other guy into the enemy.
No, I said the personality stuff comes out with the wash. If you're talking about a principled politician conservatively, I'm saying those people aren't in politics.
Wait, but those are, let's separate the question for a second.
Then why did you bring him up?
If we're going to talk about Trump's policies have been consistent.
Well, guys, make sure to support the stream with a super chat, Venmo, or PayPal, guys. Appreciate the support, by the way. And if not, make sure to smash that like button. Yeah, smash that like button or double tap that screen, depending on how you're watching.
In 2016, 2020, and 2024.
Would you consider Trump a fiscal conservative?
If we're going to talk about, opinions, Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson were vehemently anti-Trump. I can also play a clip of them.
What are you talking about?
No, he's not a fiscal conservative. The big beautiful bill added more to the debt. And here's the thing: the promise of that spending was that we were supposed to start making more through the tariffs and all that good stuff, but we didn't. And of course, this Iran war didn't make it any better. So yeah, now the opposite is happening. I mean, it's kind of crazy how they don't see that.
Policies have been consistent 2016, 2020, and 2024.
Would you consider Trump a fiscal conservative?
If we're going to talk about,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't say that because he added more to the debt through the big beautiful bill. And Scott Besson, in his plan, like he said, he was supposed to outgrow it. We were supposed to start making more, bringing in more revenue as a country, and that didn't happen. So now we're kind of eating it right now.
Opinions, or if we're going to talk about opinions, Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson were vehemently anti-Trump. I can also play a clip of them.
What are you talking about? Tucker Carlson campaigned for him.
Tucker Carlson texted in 2020, I hate 2021.
Trump. In 2024, he was on the campaign.
Oh, I'm sorry, but in 2020, everybody hated you, bro. And here's the thing, that's not a good argument. Because even Lindsey Graham hated Trump back then. Everybody hated Trump. It was popular to hate Trump back then on both sides of the aisle. It was like a bipartisan issue of hating Trump. Well, a bipartisan agreement. All right, back to it.
After he got shot.
And Lindsey Graham was also
so was Lindsey Graham.
Okay, so that tees up my question for you, David. Sorry, real quick, David. You said, in politics we need coalitions. But he's cut his coalition with Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
He didn't cut they cut the coalition with Trump.
A lot of people have sided with those people.
They're not politicians, though.
But I'll explain. We're talking about two separate things.
Yeah, but they have a very large audience that, well, I'm be real with you, the audience here vote for these politicians. So if you don't put no value on that, then, I mean, all right, you can keep being foolish, but like this was going to lose y'all the midterms, guys.
Things. When we talk about the party and the politics and the Washington stuff, that's a whole nother side of what MAGA is. What MAGA is a coalition of people that were fed up with government. And that's who Trump represented when he came down the escalator. The left had Bernie Sanders. They loved Bernie Sanders. He was the opposite of Trump, but exactly the same. He was a guy that was sick of the Clintons, even though Bernie's a total hypocrite. He pretended to be sick of the establishment, sick of the Clintons, even though, he goes back to his mansion and complains about rich people. But the idea was, here was a guy who was anti-establishment. Trump was anti-establishment. When Trump stood on the stage in 2016, he had the Bushes, he had Chris Christie, he had all of the people that were supposed to ascend the GOP ladder as conservatives. Trump said, screw all these people, they've been lying to you. That was the beauty of Trump. Now, you have to separate his policies from the party, because Trump has never been GOP. The GOP hates him. They've always hated him. But what Trump has always represented, at least tried to, in my opinion.
Okay, you guys understand that, but then okay, that's so wild. He says that the GOP always hated Trump, and here's the thing, I agree with him, but you guys are aligning with the GOP wholeheartedly with this Iran war. Like, that's the crazy part about it. And you know the GOP is known for being warmongers. You know the GOP is also known for not being so good when it comes, well, I would say to handling affordability, but yet you guys have fallen into all the mistakes that the GOP have made in the past. I mean, bro, he's bushing it. Bro's bushing it right now. Like, bro, a terrible war, bad economy, bad approval ratings. I'm just like, dog is having bro, Trump is crashing out, or he's bushing it pretty much. And you know, it's kind of funny. I remember when he first got elected, I was kind of telling the audience, like, yo, let's not play it too safe here. Let's make sure we keep a watchful eye. Let's not sit here and pretend like, oh, Trump won, now it's happily ever after. He can always bush it. I didn't know I was actually speaking, to the future on that one. I did not know.
Has been the anti-establishment voice. So where he struggles is it's hard to be anti-establishment while part of it. Because when you're president of the United States, well, now you lead the establishment. And so he's fighting people who hate him on the left, people who hate him on the right, in the GOP establishment. And in the middle, we're all like, where do we belong? Who are we?
I would like to hear what the mortal sin is of Megyn Kelly, of Alex Jones.
I don't think they
turned their back on him. That if you're the leader of the free world,
turn their back on him. Hold on. Actually, no. Trump turned their back on them. I mean, Trump turned their back on them as soon as he said that Epstein files is a hoax. Trump turned his back on all of us when he went into war with Iran. Okay. So what do you mean we turned on him? Like, I'm a little bit offended by that line, because that's what they're literally saying at this point. Like, oh, you guys turned against Trump. How? By being consistent? By having morals and ethics? Like, what? So, but basically, we turned on Trump for having some consistency. Okay, I get it now.
Well, turn your back. As a political commentator?
Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, and Tucker Carlson all turned their back on Trump and started trash talking him because of Iran.
Marjorie Taylor Greene was because of the Epstein. Let's be real. It was the Epstein list, and so was Candace Owens. It was because of the Epstein list. And then the war with Iran was just, that's when they really lost it.
You look like how is that turning your back to be a political commentator that says, I don't like the trajectory?
Ooh, Tucker, bro, I think it was even Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson was actually still holding on with Trump when it came to the Epstein list, while those two was falling off. And then this war with Iran, now even Alex Jones is off the MAGA train. Even he's like, oh yeah, I can't do this. And now he's getting attacked by Trump. And he turned his back on Trump too? No. All the people that fought for Trump turned his back on. And now you're trying to gaslight us by making it seem like they turned his back on him? How? Because they stood up for what they wanted. Like what? They wanted the Epstein files released. Trump didn't do that. They wanted no new wars. Trump didn't do that. What the fuck were they supposed to do? Just start blindly following like you?
That the guy I voted for,
it's a New York thing.
Carlson called him the Antichrist.
You got to overdo it. If someone
he did.
If someone tells you to fuck up,
that was possible.
You have to double down. That's the art of the deal.
Antichrist?
Yeah, it was obvious. He was implying that the question was that.
That's not changing the trajectory of his positions or disagreeing with the position. Calling someone the Antichrist is a little bit different than that. So let's just
you got it.
Let's be fact-based about what we're talking
Did he actually call him the Antichrist, or did he ask a question clarifying about the Antichrist? I missed this.
He said people are asking them.
No, he made it interrogative.
He said, could this be the Antichrist?
Yeah. So, and somebody else answered the question.
I'm sorry, but like, you guys have called Biden so much worse. You've called Kamala so much worse. Can y'all, like, and then now MAGA really has turned into a bunch of snowflakes at this point too. Like, now I'm starting to get it here, because it's just like, bro, y'all turn this. Well, he called him the Antichrist. They called him names. They judged his policy. It's like, oh my God, bro, get over it. It's like, oh my goodness.
Question he just
like I said, y'all sounding like the leftists at this point.
It was a monologue.
Can I make a warning real quick? You guys remember in high school when your friend was dating a girl and you were like, oh, I hate her, but you kept your mouth shut because they seemed happy, and then they broke up and you're like, I always hated her, and your buddy's like, yeah, and then they get back together and then he's like, he hates you, and it causes problems. Trump has beefs with people all the time, and I have strayed into getting behind these beefs. I'm like, yeah, screw that person now. And I'm like, oh, crap, they're friends again. Elon Musk is a perfect example. I don't get behind these beefs. He might be beefing with Alex Jones and Megyn Kelly and Tucker, but the next big shoe will drop. A Democrat will do something that offends everybody, and before you know it, there'll be a coalition again.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, but you're describing tribalism.
But I do want you. I want you to kind of go back to your original thought, because I think you're getting to where this path needs to lead, which is, you know, I'm sitting here looking at this, whether you like Thomas Massie or not, it's like, it doesn't matter to me. Let's look at a voting record. He has a conservative voting record. That is just a fact. He has the #1 Liberty score now that Marjorie Taylor Greene is out. And so I'm just saying, I think it's a fair question to ask. And you explained your reasoning. Why is Trump with Lindsey Graham now and not with Thomas Massie? And I think,
you know, why.
For people like
any
us,
of you say it?
Oh, no, wait, hold on. Let me guess. Israel.
Yes.
But hold on a second.
God.
I think that's fair. Look at hold on a second. Look at what Trump said about the Adelson money in 2016 compared to how Adelson funds his campaign now. So there is proof to that. But getting back to your point,
what proof is there to that? You just brought up an irrelevant fact.
Okay, Trump literally scolded the entire GOP for letting Adelson run it.
Okay.
And now Adelson runs
specifically
Marco Rubio. What's the relevance?
Because Adelson is his top donor.
Can you tell me a position that Trump has changed after receiving Adelson money?
Yeah, war in the Middle East.
No, and what about when she donated?
So hold on, we're going to get to that in a second.
The biggest policy change that he's made.
You said something, and I'm disagreeing with it. Trump has been talking about since 1981 that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, and said in 1981.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Saying that in 1981, then current day talking about, oh, no more new wars, especially in the Middle East. Like, come on, bro. Like, that is a very dumb argument, in my opinion. Like, how are you going to sit there and talk about the 1980s when his opinion, like, where he said, well, a completely different opinion current day? Like, I'm not going to sit here and listen to an interview from the 1980s or read something that Trump said from the 1980s when we got something from current day where he says the opposite. Like, I can bring you 2015 through 2018 of him saying the complete opposite of no new wars, especially in the Middle East. So why the hell are we bringing up something from the 1980s? And here's the thing. Don't you think his opinion would change, you know, from the 1980s all the way up to, I don't know, 2014, considering the conflicts that we got to in the Middle East and how much of a disaster those were? Don't you think that would lead to a change in his opinion, dude? So why even bring that up?
We need to use military force to prohibit Iran from getting nuclear weapons.
They didn't have a nuke. They weren't building a nuke, and they still don't have a nuke.
Okay, that again, you're just lying.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Those are.
Yeah, they're not building a nuke. They never had a nuke. So what's going on? That's not him lying. It's just, I don't know. And things, if they had a nuke, we wouldn't even be in this conflict. Like, bro, we'd be treating them like North Korea. We'd have them sanctioned to death, but we're not going to put boots on the ground. We're not going to sit there and attack them and risk getting nuked. But all right.
And guess what? They didn't have a nuke. They weren't building a nuke, and they still don't have a nuke.
Okay, that again, you're just lying.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Those are.
So this is just, you guys believe political propaganda. We don't.
I don't know if you're lying or you're just misinformed.
Did Iran have a nuke?
Did Iran currently have a nuke? No.
Okay. Did Iraq have weapons of mass destruction? Did Iraq have weapons of mass destruction?
No.
Did babies die in incubators?
Do you wait?
No.
Do you wait?
All of these lies led us to wars.
What? Do you wait for Iran to get nuclear weapons before you prevent it?
Does Israel have nuclear weapons? Does America have nuclear weapons? Does Russia have nuclear weapons?
Okay, do the Taliban have? Do you want the Taliban to get nuclear weapons?
No, of course not. But why is it my business?
No, Iran was not building a nuke. Actually, here's the thing, though. Our 18 different departments of intelligence all concluded that Iran wasn't building a nuke. They have no nuclear weapons program. So what are you guys talking about? And this is coming from American intelligence, by the way. And this is why the left is always cooking MAGA when it comes to this debate. Like, they were building a nuke. All right, where's your proof? Okay then. So because you have none, you have no proof that they were building a nuke. And I mean, guys, guess what? The IAEA don't agree with you. I mean, bro, our intelligence don't agree with you. So what are you even saying here? You guys have nothing to back that argument. But they were building a nuke. All right, where's your proof? Because now you got to go against the intelligence agency and the IAEA. And trust me, they're more tapped in on the ground than you.
I actually don't know what your point is. What is your point?
My point is,
I was going to get to my point. If I could get back to my point, please, and I could let David express this.
Because then you brought this up, and I'm addressing it now. Do you want Iran? Let's just go on. Do you want Iran to get nuclear weapons?
They don't have one. They weren't building one.
They were building one.
I'm sorry, but that's not an argument. You asking me, do I want Iran to have a nuclear weapon? I'm going to tell you no. But you can't tell me then, oh, well, that's why you should agree with this war, because that sounds retarded. All right, well, guess what? Our intelligence community said that they're not building a nuclear weapon. They never were building a nuclear weapon. I mean, and they've already established that they never were going to build one with a religious law or a fatwa in 2004, 2006. So you're pretty much asking me something that, oh, well, you want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Well, guess what, though? They were never going towards one. So what are we in this war for? And what are you asking me this question? If it doesn't really have anything to do, honestly, when it comes to Iran and this Iran war, because I'm gonna be honest with you right now, we're not even trying to stop them from having a nuclear weapon. Right now, we're trying to stop them from just enriching, period. So you remember how Trump changed the goalposts back and forth? It was Iran can't have a nuclear weapon to Iran can't enrich. Now back to Iran can't have a nuclear weapon because we now figured out that we can't stop Iran from enriching.
Iran to get nuclear weapons.
Why are we doing this?
Do you want Iran to get nuclear weapons?
They did Operation Midnight Hammer August of 2024.
Why won't you respond to the question? It's a very simple question.
June, thank you.
Are you okay with Iran getting nuclear weapons?
I'm not doing. They don't have fucking nukes, man.
Do you want Iran to get nuclear weapons?
Where do we draw the line? Are we okay with North Korea getting nuclear weapons?
When we look at the situation with Trump moving into Lindsey Graham's, realm and out of Massey's realm, the way I interpret that is Trump is not with the anti-establishment. He's not against the GOP. He's not against the neocons. To me, that symbolizes that Trump has joined the neocons and abandoned everyone else. That's the way
Man, what's also crazy about that whole, would you want Iran to have a nuclear weapon? I'm like, no, but here's the thing, though. So you're saying that we got to be aggressive towards Iran to not have a nuclear weapon? I would look at you, if that's your argument, I'm going to look at you like you're an idiot. Like you just have not been paying attention. Because every time we've had a military aggression towards Iran, that actually pushed them closer to a nuclear weapon. So I would have to flip that question on you. Do you want Iran to have a nuclear weapon? And if not, then you should stop all these acts of aggression and get to diplomacy, because the acts of aggression was pushing them towards that nuclear weapon. And diplomacy is what pulls them away from it. So let me ask you that question. Do you want Iran to have a nuclear weapon?
I interpret that.
Yes.
And I think that you were getting into your interpretation was this is Trump wheeling and dealing in D.C., which I think would be the most innocent explanation of it. But then, of course, you have to weigh in the donor influence, the foreign and special influence. I mean, these are things that we all know happen in D.C. We can't ignore them.
Well, that's what it boils down to, honestly, whether or not you still have faith in Trump or not. And I'm not saying everybody needs to. I believe Trump is doing what he has to do to get things to the finish line. Remember, Big Beautiful Bill barely passed. There was a lot of wrangling. Lindsey Graham voted for the Big Beautiful Bill. And so Mitch McConnell, I think, didn't. But this is the balance he has to strike. He has a GOP in the Senate that does not deliver on his agenda. So he has to do things like, yeah, Lindsey, you're great, because guess what? Lindsey's getting reelected as much as it pains all of us. And if Trump goes against Lindsey's or for Lindsey's opponent, and Lindsey's like, I remember that Trump, that's a problem for the entire agenda. So I do believe he goes to Washington and says, how do I?
Yeah, but that's basically saying that nobody ain't got no real principle then, because you're telling me that he's just going to start voting against Trump, but you're saying that, oh, well, Lindsey actually supports Trump. Are you sure? Because the way you're framing it is that Trump don't do what Lindsey say, or if Trump don't be on Lindsey's good side, that's just, then Lindsey's just going to go against Trump. And I'm gonna be real with you, I honestly believe that, because Lindsey is a flip-flopper. Like, trust me, he's held positions of a leftist, he's held positions of a far-right guy. And like I said, Lindsey Graham, he's a chameleon. I honestly, like I said, bro, the bro would be a socialist if all the socialist guys were pro-Israel, okay? It's where he blows wherever the Israeli flag does, okay?
Get this done. I think it's a lesson he learned from the 2016 administration.
And that's such a catch-22, because the other side of that is, okay, I can't get anything done unless I work with Lindsey Graham, but then you're risking I can't get anything done if I work with Lindsey Graham, because so many people are never going to show up and vote for me with the midterms.
Why is it Trump's filing into Lindsey Graham's ecosystem?
They're just obsessed with Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham
it's weird.
is filing into Trump's ecosystem.
Because we're at war in the Middle East, and this is what the neocons have been pushing for my entire life.
Trump has been saying that he wants to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon since 1981.
And they never had one. Trump has also said...
That's why the argument is retarded. It's like they never had one. And here's the thing. I mean, I'm going to start asking that. So I'm like, do you want Iran to have a nuclear weapon? As soon as they tell me no, then all right, then you shouldn't want any more military action against Iran, because our military action against Iran is what pushes them towards a nuclear weapon. Like when we got outside the JCPOA, we put the sanctions on them. We labeled the IRGC a terrorist group. We killed General Qasem Soleimani. We did all that from 2018 to 2020. And in 2021, that's when it got 60% enrichment. Do you see the pattern here? The more aggressive we are towards Iran, the closer they get to a nuke. But with Obama, when he practiced diplomacy, not only was he able to get that about 1,000 pounds of a highly enriched uranium out, but he was also able to get inspections and get them to water down their enrichment to 3.67%. So yeah, it seems like diplomacy worked way better than aggression, way better than a military action. And I mean, let's look at what Trump has gotten so far out of this conflict. I mean, billions of dollars of taxpayer money wasted, Americans' lives lost, American equipment destroyed, bases destroyed, and once again, the Strait of Hormuz is in Iran's control. What did Obama get with diplomacy? He didn't get into a war. I mean, American lives were not lost. Yes, no soldier's life was lost through him getting into JCPOA, guys. Do I need to remind you about that? No extensive amount of taxpayer dollars was spent. So no, the palace of money he sent to Iran wasn't taxpayer dollars. It was released sanction funds. So please tell me how Trump did better than Obama in this regard right here. And trust me, Obama was a shit president. But when it came to this Iran deal, he was cooking with this one.
That Bush's wars in the Middle East.
Stop them with Operation Midnight Hammer. Why are you keeping this up?
If you weren't paying attention in 1981, in 2016, in 2020, and in 2024, that's fine. But just say you're misinformed.
You weren't even alive. What are you talking about? You're the youngest one on this panel. How are you going to age play?
Yeah, but the videos exist. We can see what Trump was saying in the 80s.